This is Magnus Carlsen at his best. We have knight f3. This is a blitz game, and he gains 2 seconds per move. We have g3, ready to fianchetto the bishop. We have d4, d5, knight jumps out. Bishop goes to f5 now, and we have knight to h4 attacking the bishop. The bishop continues advancing. We have bishop g2, fianchettoing, and e6 by Gukesh, castles by Magnus, bishop e7 by Gukesh, pawn forwards attacking the bishop. Bishop drops back. Please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000. We're almost there. Bishop drops back. Knight drops back. Knight jumping forwards onto f6. Now c4 by Magnus Carlsen, creating some tension in the center of the board. Gukesh decides to castle now, and we have Magnus taking, Gukesh taking back, and knight c3 by Magnus attacking this pawn. It's already defended by 2 pieces though, so he doesn't really have to do anything about it. He actually undefends one of the pieces and jumps in to attack the knight. Now knight jumps to e5, and we exchange knight, pawn takes back, and this pawn is very strong on e5. We take back, and now Gukesh plays c6, defending that pawn with the pawn. And now we have Magnus playing f4, which is a mistake, but I like the move because it gains space and it's defended by the rook. So Gukesh plays the correct move, playing f6, undermining this pawn structure, and Magnus plays g4, another mistake, making his position even worse. Gukesh drops all the way back. We have pawn takes, bishop to c5, check. Magnus decides to move his king up, and we have queen f6 and now queen d3. Magnus is defending here, but it looks like it could be scary, and Gukesh plays completely wrong because he lets Magnus push here, and he's completely fine. But they only have 5 minutes, so there's bound to be a couple mistakes. Bishop drops back, bishop to f4. Now trading off the bishops, and queen blocks this queen check, and now Magnus wants to trade off the rooks. Gukesh defends his queen with a rook and gets his rook onto d6. Magnus plays d1. We have d8 by Gukesh, and now rook jumps onto f4. Now c5 by Gukesh, and this is pretty much completely drawing. There's not much that either of them can do, and we're just shuffling around the pieces in this endgame. Bishop drops back to e8, the only good move that doesn't lose. Now we have king jumping to g3, pawn forwards, pawn takes, rook takes, and Magnus does not want to trade off the rooks here because then that would not be good for him, as he loses this pawn and he probably would promote. We have pawn forwards, rook takes the pawn takes, bishop to f3 now, and it looks like Gukesh can push one of these pawns. This one's defended by the bishop, and it does not look good for Magnus. Magnus tries to block the pawn. Gukesh runs over his king. Magnus blocks off the king so he can't push forwards anymore. But now Gukesh moves his rook forwards, and Magnus moves his king forwards. Gukesh goes to b2. Now we have g5 by Magnus, and Gukesh is trying to trade off, get connected pawns, and that would be completely winning if Magnus had taken. He does not take. He drops his rook back, but now the pawn's advancing. We have pawn c3 and bishop to e4, defending the c2 square. But now after rook to c4, it pins the bishop to the king, and we have king to e3 now. Pawn goes forwards to c2. We have bishop back to d3, defending against the check that was there and attacking this rook, but it is pinned, so it would not be able to take it. We have rook dropping back anyways. Now king attacking the rook. Rook here defending the other rook. And now we have e4 by Magnus. Pawn forwards, and now Gukesh makes a slight mistake. He drops his rook back when he would have needed to play rook c7 or g6. g6 the pawn push, and rook c7, which is just trying to trade off the rooks, but he drops it back to c8, and now Magnus finds the great move, pushing his pawn forwards to e6, and Gukesh makes an even worse mistake. He plays rook c6 when he should have played a2 or rook 3 c5, so the 5, or he could have played a2 and just kept on advancing these pawns. If you take back, he's probably doing pretty well here. We have rook to c6 instead of c5. If he played it here, it would be really good for him, but he didn't. Magnus doesn't see it immediately, but we have rook here, king goes forwards, and they both have like 6 seconds for Gukesh, 20 seconds for Magnus. Gukesh makes a terrible mistake because now after you take here, bishop takes back, you're stopping this pawn, and you're attacking the rook. So rook goes over, check with king here, rook defending the pawn, and after Magnus pushes, all of these pawns are too far forwards, Gukesh resigns, and Magnus wins the game. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.